Grace Tame, difficult.
Oh, he called a woman difficult. He called Grace Tame difficult.
Difficult.
This is what everyone was freaking out about. This is what all his supporters, his left-wing lunatics, were freaking out about. How soft can you be?
Grace Tame is no stranger to controversy. The Prime Minister this week describing her as difficult, quickly prompting this apology.
G'day everyone, welcome back to another video now. Anthony Albanese has been called out for calling Grace Tame difficult. He called a woman difficult. Someone like this is difficult. Albanese's bestie. So we've all seen the clips of it. I'm going to show it in a minute. So we're going to get into it. It's all over the place. It's just a complete example of the left-wing woke people eating each other. You say one thing they disagree with and then they just completely attack you. And if you fold to them, then they're just going to keep doing it and taking more and more and more. So you see what's happening all around the world. People are standing up, they're speaking up against this woke agenda. So let's get into this and have a laugh how stupid Anthony Albanese is and apologising for this. Make sure you like, subscribe, join to be a member if you want videos early. But yeah, we're nearly at 25,000 subscribers. We're so close. So make sure if you're new, you subscribe and join the community. But let's get into this. So Grace Tame, Anthony Albanese's bestie. So she got Australian of the Year in, I think, 2021 for her work with SA victims, speaking up for them. So that was great. That's great to see. Great reason to get Australian of the Year. But now she's become a complete woke, radical protester, as they bloody do when they get involved in all this stuff. They keep going more and more and more until it stops becoming about a real topic, starts becoming about stuff we shouldn't be involved in. So the big clip, I'll show you this clip. This is what everyone is angry about. This is what started this whole thing, this whole fiasco. Australian of the Year out there chanting speech like this. So you can see she's gone from Australian of the Year doing chants like this against a whole group of people that we have nothing to do with in a war overseas we have nothing to do with. And that speech is actually nearly getting banned in Queensland now and other parts of Australia because it's actually a call to violence a lot of these radical protesters use it for. It's to globalise the movement against a whole group of people. So Australians don't want to be involved in that. We don't want that shit on our streets because we just had a mass shooting and then the Australian of the Year is out there doing this straight after it. So it shows you like they really do not care. And their goal is to spread this hatred and division. And normal Australians don't want to be involved in it and are sick of it. So like it's just been all over the news. Everyone's been speaking about it. I've made some videos on it. But yeah, it just has to stop. It needs to be called out. But Anthony Albanese was doing a quick rapid fire question where you have to say one word about whatever they say. And they say Grace Tame. And the word he uses is difficult. And oh, that did upset the radical feminists. You cannot call a woman difficult, even when they're out there calling to eradicate a whole group of people. And I'm not saying she's 100% doing that, but using that type of speech, a lot of people take it that way. So let's see this clip here of Albo completely messing up to his woke side of politics, and now he's apologising for it, trying to reframe the whole situation.
Grace Tame, difficult.
Oh, he called a woman difficult. He called Grace Tame difficult.
Difficult.
This is what everyone was freaking out about. This is what all his supporters, his left-wing lunatics, were freaking out about. How soft can you be? See, if you give these people an inch, they'll take a mile. And they'll keep taking more and more. And now, and it has nothing to do with women. Let's get that right. It has nothing to do with women calling someone difficult. Why are you putting gender to calling someone difficult that is inherently difficult? Look what they're out there doing. Creating division, getting into these radical groups, spreading this hatred through Australia. So, you know, her going out there and him going out there and saying difficult isn't an outlandish statement. And these left-wing people are so sensitive, they go, oh, you can't speak it bad against a woman. What are you talking about? You can speak bad about anyone. You can criticize anyone's action. We're all equal here in Australia. Gender has nothing to do with it. But so let's see what Albo did. Did he apologise? Did he say, oh no, I meant it, she is difficult? Let's see what he actually said. And why even address it? I would say to the reporter, you're an idiot for even asking that question.
Grace Tame is no stranger to controversy. The Prime Minister this week describing her as difficult, quickly prompting this apology.
Well, I was asked to describe people in one word, and Grace Tame, you certainly can't describe in one word. She has had a difficult life, and that was what I was referring to.
The local
Really? Like, this is the weakest Prime Minister we've ever had. Like, what are you talking about? Oh, she's had a difficult life. Oh, which one of your little interns wrote that for you? What a complete idiot. And he's out there. Why even address this? Well, I'd be like, why are they calling me out for that? That's just a stupid comment. Have a backbone. This is why you're so weak and get no support from real Australians. Like, you're just such a weak man. I think, like, going out there, chanting these speeches, you should have been calling out. Normal Australians were all over the media saying you should call out Grace Tame for this speech, saying it's not okay, especially for an Australian of the Year. Even a lot of people want her Australian of the Year revoked, which I don't think is an outlandish thing once you're causing violence on the streets and in these radical protests that no normal Australians want. The common sense Australians want this shit on our streets, this violence, this divide. But it's really funny, these left-wing woke people, they all cannibalize each other. You know, you say one thing they don't like, even when you pander to them for years. You say one thing they don't like, and then that's it, we're coming after you. You can't say that. You can't speak one bad word just because she's a woman. Like, it's just ridiculous, and it needs to stop. And this is why people don't take people like this seriously, because they're just complete woke-minded, delusional. If you say one thing against their agenda, even if you're 99% for their agenda, they'll come after you. And that's why you can't have a civil discussion with these people. You can't speak to logic because they only run on a radical feelings and agenda that just keeps getting more and more radical each year. And now you've got an Australian of the Year that defended SA victims, and she's out there doing these radical speeches, really supporting a lot of groups that aren't very good for women's rights. But they go so full circle, these woke people, they go back to oppression. You know? It's just going around and around. They go so woke, they start saying, oh no, now we need people that, yes, it's good cultures that say women need to be fully covered up in public. All stuff like that. You know, that's where they go. They go full circle. It does not make any sense. But it's good laugh seeing how weak Albo is. It's always really funny to see how weak this man is, going out there apologising. It's just, how weak can you be? Grace Tame, I think, is a disgrace to the Australian public, going out there with these radicals, and she's only getting more and more radical. She's going to feed off this, get more freaks on her side. Anyway, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, comment down below what you thought of this video, and if you agree with me, if you disagree, I'd love to know your opinions. Join to be a member if you want videos early and show some extra support. It means a lot to me, but I'll see you in the next one.
Grace Tame. Difficult.